Hey yo, how's it going? ManCar here. So, with Silverwolf coming soon, and many people talking about the character, especially since they are coming with Argenti as to who you should pull for, and which character is much more worth it, I kind of thought about making this video because there's been a very noticeable split on Silverwolf, whether people are saying she's a must-pull character, or she's no longer that useful character. She's just overrated. Because so many people are claiming both sides of the spectrum. They're saying, oh no, she's become underrated, and oh no, she's just overrated. Because there's a huge amount of utility the character provides, but it's also whether the character's utility is relevant at the moment, right? Because one of the things that is quite clear to anybody that uses her is that she is a single target debuffer, and that can be a little bit underwhelming, especially with the late game content that we have been receiving as of late. As of recently, enemies that have been added into the game are more focused towards AoE, since we have the Swarm Disaster, which always is spawning little enemies, which can get overwhelming if they're just hitting you over and over and over again, especially if there's 5 of these annoying little bugs just pestering you so many times. And the Swarm Disaster, the actual thing, you know, they split into 2 at the end, and they can do a lot of damage, especially because once they have these little bugs, they can do their special attack, or they'll just combine and beat the shit out of you together as a collective. And that is incredibly scary, and it can lead to a lot of concern and moments of it being absolutely horrific. On top of that, there's the IPC staff leader, which on top of not being weak to quantum, he just keeps on spawning enemies over and over and over and over again, and to a certain extent not being able to deal with all of these enemies at once. You're trying to clear them if you're going for a single target comp like it is for mono quantum. It can be a bit rough. You can still delete the enemy quickly, and it's you're able to brute force through content with mono quantum, but it can still feel rough sometimes, and personally I'm not a fan of brute forcing. However, on the opposite side of that spectrum, I can say that one of the points in favor for Silverwolf is that she makes team building so much easier. This is personally my favorite thing about Silverwolf, and why she's perhaps one of my favorite characters in the game. It's not because of what she can do as a debuffer per se, but the fact that she can implant a weakness on an enemy means that I can run almost any character I want. I say almost because I'm not gonna be just plugging in Silverwolf and my favorite character, because sometimes an enemy doesn't have a weakness to quantum, and they don't have a weakness to the element I want to hit. And it essentially makes it so it's a dice roll, unless again you're going mono quantum, then you just pop off and you can enable this team in against almost any enemy. And I don't know, it just feels great that you can bring your favorite DPS with you anywhere you want, or almost anywhere you want, since they're the ones that help you clear content. They're the ones that you adore. Maybe you're a Topaz main, right? And you genuinely adore Topaz, but you're trying to fight someone like Japard that doesn't have a fire weakness. So you can just pop off against him. Now he's weak to fire, so now all of your attacks are going to do massively. Maybe you want to bring the Fire Trailblazer too. Okay, cool. That's amazing. He doesn't have a weakness to quantum though, so you have to eat up the fact that sometimes he is going to not get hit by the fire weakness, and it's going to get the quantum one instead. On the opposite hand, maybe you want to use, I don't know, let's say against Cocolia you want to use the wind characters, right? Like Blade, Dan Hong, Sample, because you're bringing in Kafka, right? You can bring in Silverwolf because Cocolia has lightning, then also quantum, so it's 100% guaranteed that you're gonna get the wind break. And if you have Woho, then you have your healer there, and it's a much easier time. I can't really think of the top of my head a character that is in Memory of Chaos though, but there is bound to be a character with those types of weaknesses that you can just abuse in many different ways. it opens up the possibility of certain team comps in certain scenarios. So it's something that is incredibly worth considering at the very least. Which does segue into the next concept that many people keep claiming that she loses value the more characters that come into the game, the more characters we can build. And while it is partially true, I don't genuinely believe that. The reason I say this is because not only did we just establish that she makes team building easier, but she essentially lets you use these new characters in new and creative ways in other team comps. So, true, I mean, you don't have to use her because now you have these other characters, but maybe some of these characters are your favorite characters, and the next patch, when they're not being boosted up, because, you know, Memory of Chaos is tailored for the boosted characters, they're not going to be that useful, but you can make them useful if you so wish, because, you know, you want to have them always on your team because they're your favorite characters. And that is something that is very free-to-play friendly in my opinion. Like, legitimately, you don't have to build a whole new character. You can just bring back the character that you've been liking and take your time building the other character that you do want to use. I know that it might feel like you're closing yourself off, but I don't want to take this as a, oh hey, you know, you have Silverwolf, so now you don't have to get other characters. It's more than anything, oh, you have Silverwolf, so now you can get any character you want. Even if the game, even if developers, even if the community is saying, oh, this character is just not meta, you shouldn't go for them, oh, they're like completely useless in the still of Memory of Chaos. You can potentially make them useful in Memory of Chaos or in a future Memory of Chaos. So I feel like that is a really valid point to go for her. It's really good, and it's just amazing. It sucks that she's a limited character because, I mean, it makes sense, but like, it sucks because you can only get her for a certain amount of time. And right now in the double banner, I know that there's people that are conflicted between getting Argenti and getting her, and just go for the character you want. Legitimately, that's the only advice I want to give. It's just go for whoever you feel like is your favorite character, and just enjoy that. Because at the end of the day, you can use other characters as well, right? Pela and Bronya are also characters that do an amazing job, but they, for a different reason, right? Bronya just giga stats your attacks to infinity, but only of one character with her skill and all your party with her ultimate. And Pela is kind of the opposite, and it's more similarly close and tailored to Silverwolf, which I prefer. I much prefer this comparison with Pela because they both reduce enemy defenses. However, Pela doesn't on AoE, while Silverwolf is just on a single target enemy, and it's a very strong single target enemy debuff, so it's always worth considering. At the end of the day, I just wanna say that, like, you can run Mono Quantum in almost anything you want. That is true, but you can also use different characters and builds, and it opens up so many things that you can play around with the mechanics, you can play around with your weaknesses, and the general consensus of this video is just, if you like her, go for her. If you want some characters to shine, or if you just want more options available, go for her if you like her playstyle, but be advised that she is single target, so that can be a bit rough. She can make team building easier, but not all teams easier, because she has her limitations. But you need to know that beyond anything else, she is more than her skill. Her character is not, I am going to inflict you with a weakness. That is a huge boost to her character. But she has many more things on her kit. Her ultimate decreases defense massively. Every normal attack, because of her passive, like not even normal attack, every attack that she does, whether it be the normal one, the skill, the ultimate, have a chance to apply one of 3 random debuffs, being reducing enemy speed, reducing enemy attack, and reducing enemy defense. So you can reduce enemy defense twice. It's really good. And while she might be a little bit skill point intensive, because ideally you want to be using the skill every 2 turns, and if the enemy's too fast every turn, so she can hog those points up decently fast. I'm not gonna deny that. She can still work really nicely, and the more speed you have on her, you can just solve that problem. Anyways, that's essentially just been this weird, not rant, but like conversation about the character. Just want to remind you, go for the characters you want. At the end of the day, it's a game. You're meant to enjoy it. Don't let other people dictate what you find is fun. So before this video ends, I just want to say, if you're going for Argenti, Silverwolf, best of luck. I really hope you all get your characters within like the first 10, 20 pulls. Get that early pity, my guy, because I want you all to thrive. I want you all to have the characters that you very much wish for, and for you to enjoy this game that, you know, I adore this community. This community has been like a lot of fun. The discussions people have been making in the channel have been amazing. So I'm very grateful for the support and interactivity that we all have been providing me. So as of now, I kind of want to start making a bit of a trend for the videos where at the end of them, I want to highlight a random comment that I liked, that made me laugh, or just a random opinion that maybe we can pull up into the air and kind of talked about it further in the comments. But anyways, thank you very much for staying here for as long as you have on this video. I hope you'll have a wonderful rest of your days, mornings, nights, whatever time zone you're in, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.